Hi everyone, I wanted to make a video talking about something that has been really pressing in my life lately. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch it or care, but this video is more for me anyway, so that's fine. But for those of you who don't know me, and also a lot of you that do know me, that don't know about this, which I'm sure if you're close to me you've seen the signs or have noticed like issues in my life regarding this. I've struggled my entire life with body dysmorphia and a little bit more eating disorders as well. Not so much lately, but still it's still there because it's not something I think you ever recover from. It's just something you have to learn to deal with. But anyway, so about this body dysmorphia, so to describe what it feels like to have body dysmorphia, it is like, imagine waking up, and I'm sure most people can relate in some sense of the because you know, we all, I think it's natural to like look in the mirror and like see something, you're like, oh god, I look crazy, but you know, that's a little different because I don't think it's unhealthy to at some points be like, oh gosh, like this is not how I want to represent myself, I need to fix it. That's fine, and I think that's normal and natural and probably healthy because we would never like bathe ourselves if we didn't have some sort of, you know, what we wanted to represent ourselves to the world as, if that makes sense. And excuse me if I ramble and like, I'm not making sense. I'm working on such little sleep and I'm feeling crazy. So, but anyways, so to describe what it feels like to have body dysmorphia, imagine waking up in the day and being like, oh, I want to have a nice productive day and do this and this and this. You have like your list of things you want to do, like whether it is like go to school or go to work, work out, make a healthy dinner, go to class, learn a skill, whatever it is you're doing through the day. But then you actually get there and there's like a cloud in your head, or like a tape recorder in your head just relaying negative thoughts about you, your physicalities, and also your, you know, your capabilities as a person in general. So for example, say you're in class and you want to speak up, but you don't want to speak up and ask a question that you know could probably really help you in that class, because you know everyone's gonna look at you and notice that giant, like everyone's gonna look at you and notice like how many flaws you have. Like it's not even usually one thing, because like obviously sometimes we're gonna have pimples and it's gonna be like, oh, don't look at me, I have a pimple. It's like on a regular day where, you know, there's nothing like innately wrong with you, and you just don't want people to notice you because they'll just see everything that, you know, the tape recorder is saying, and that would just be horrifying if anyone noticed you, because, you know, they'll see what you think that you they'll see what you think they see, when in reality, you know, and I think most people who even have body dysmorphia can understand like what we're thinking is not reality, and most people can't see what we see. But once those tapes are playing so much in your head, it's like it is reality, and you just want to make yourself as small as possible and as unseen. And you know, for me personally, that that really, I think body dysmorphia really triggered me into having an eating disorder. This all started when I was about 12 years old, and I would say like my thought process was I just wanted to be really small, and I'm not like a small person, like I'm 5'9", 5'10", and you know, I'm thin, but I'm not like thin, like I'm not that small. So I always felt so big and so out of place everywhere I was, especially like during high school. And I think that's normal. I think a lot of people feel that way, but it was just like amplified. So I would throw up, I would want to starve myself, and you know, I was never small, and I always felt like, oh, it's not working, I'm failing. But that's, you know, if you're failing at an eating disorder, in reality you're winning. So that's, you know, it's probably good I didn't lose myself to the eating disorder. And you know, whenever I got to college, it kind of like, it stopped. I can count probably like 2 or 3 times I purged during college, and probably like since then, since moving to California and stuff, I can probably count like 4 or 5 times, which is a lot, but it's not every day, so that's good. Gotta think of the positives and the wins in life. But anyways, so what possessed me to start thinking about this in a more productive way and starting to deal with it head on was, I was sitting in my car and I was just seething. I was so angry and so upset. I was like crying and I was just seething and I was so upset, and it was like 4 p.m. and I was talking to my boyfriend Joseph, and I was just thinking all these horrible things about myself, and like, gosh, you know, I'll never be this, I'll never be that. And Joseph just said, you know, like, Leanna, God, you have to fix this. You have to find a way to fix this. I can't help you. Like, the words I say to you, you know, I can tell you you're beautiful all day, but you won't see it unless you fix what is going on in your head, and you're killing yourself. So you have to fix it fast. You have to figure it out now, because all the stress you're putting on yourself is killing yourself. And you know, it's true. Like I now, the past few months, you know, only the past few months, I've been able to look back and be like, wow, I've really, you know, ruined a lot of my life by, no, and I say ruin my life, but like, I'm 21, like I have a chance, you know, like I'm still young, and there's still like all these years I can do all these things. So I'm not a lost cause, and I don't think you're a lost cause even if you're like 50 and figuring things out. So, or 60, 70, 80, like as long as you have years left, there's work you can do and fix yourself, so it never hurts to try. But anyways, now I can look back and see all these things, that anger and non-understanding of myself really caused a lot of negativity and failures. And you know, I didn't do well in school because of all of this stuff, and I was focused on the wrong things, and you know, it was so like these voices in my head, and I'm saying voices in my head, it sounds like I'm crazy, but I guess I am a little bit. They were just louder than the positive ones, and the one, you know, once you get to a point and there's so many, you think so negatively about yourself, you feel like you can't do anything, so why try? Anyways, so what I was thinking, you know, what can I do to fix this? It's like, I was just like, isn't there a pill I can take to just like switch this switch in my brain to stop telling me these negative thoughts? And you know, so I saw a therapist for a while. It didn't really work out. I think therapy can be great, but this particular therapist wasn't for me. So I think I'll probably pursue therapy some more. I would love to, and I think it would be healthy, but I want to be very careful at to whom I open up this stuff with, in a more deep way. Because I think, you know, people's words are very meaningful like whenever you're in this state of mind. And you know, some therapists are just, you know, they're people too, and they make mistakes and they say the wrong things, and as good meaning as they mean to be, sometimes it just doesn't work out, so you just have to be careful. But I just wanted, at that point I was just like, God, it was to the point where I was like, can't I just take a pill and like go to sleep and wake up and it be like, oh, I'm beautiful, I think I'm capable, I'm good at what I do, I'm nice. And but you know, it doesn't work like that. You can't just switch it, because this is a big reason why I wanted to make this video. Because I think, you know, a lot of times we think that we're doing passive things, and when we're entertaining ourselves or listening to music, watching TV, whatever it is you do with your free time, a lot of times we see these actions as passive, and we're just passing the time, and they don't really mean anything. But truth be told, you're putting effort into feeding negative thoughts. A lot of the times you're listening to music that is degrading towards women and women's physique, and watching TV that is just garbage, that, you know, is not serving you in a positive way, and a lot of times is serving you in a negative way. It's reminding you that, you know, you don't have a Rolls Royce, and you don't have, you know, a multi-million-dollar home, and you don't have the money for breast implants, and you don't have the money for lip injections every 6 months, and you don't have all this stuff, so you'll, you know, and if you did have this stuff, you would be beautiful, and people would love you, and you would have millions of followers on Instagram, and everything would be okay, but you don't. So, boo you. That's just negative. Like, you don't need that in your life. And you know, if you can watch like reality TV and like listen to some of these like the songs on the radio without thinking that, like, go you, that's awesome. But I don't think most people can expose themselves to that 24/7 and not feel some sort of hatred for themselves at some point. Excuse me. I'm having coffee right now, so like a little gassy. But anyways, so I've been thinking about how I can actively change the tapes in my head to say negative or positive thoughts about myself. How can I change the tapes from saying, oh, I hate your smile, I hate my smile, I hate the way my nose looks and how my face gets like how can I change that into like looking at myself and being like, wow, I'm beautiful, and I'm capable, and I'm smart, and I'm kind, and whatever it may be. Just all the positive thoughts that you can have about yourself, because, you know, there should be millions of them. Like, you are like, if you're like 5'5" and 130 pounds, think of all the space on your body that you can have a positive thought about. It's a lot. Because you're probably right now thinking a lot of negative things about it. Not that you should be. But anyways, so I'm sorry I'm rambling, because I'm working on low sleep, so if I'm not making any sense, I'm sorry. So the positive things that we can do is, you know, one thing I've done recently is I've been like looking at what I listen to and expose myself to and what I'm watching, and I'm thinking about, are these things serving me, and are they helping me create a positive space in my head? And a lot of the stuff is no. Like, and we listen to this stuff and watch this stuff, and it just seems like it's no big deal. It's a big deal. If you're feeling negative all the time, really think about what you're exposing yourself to, because a lot of it is not good. I'm rambling, and I apologize because I'm repeating myself over and over again, but I'm not going to edit this, and I'm not going to like keep making this, because I've tried a few times and I always ramble. It's just me. But so basically, things you can do, like actual actions you can do to change these tapes. One thing is, you know, I read something forever ago, and I thought it was true forever, that like the girl who looks, it was like the girl who looks in the mirror and has to tell herself that she's beautiful, it's all false confidence. It's not real. That girl doesn't actually think she's beautiful, you know. And, you know, I guess to an extent that's true, because what we're talking about is body dysmorphia and how to fix those actual thoughts. But you shouldn't be ashamed on working towards trying to feel better about yourself. And if anyone tries to tell you that it's that, oh, you're just you're bullshitting yourself, oh blah blah blah. Do you know how many people in this world thrive on faking it till they make it? Fake it till you make it. It is so real. Like, you have to do it. You have to at least try it. Whether it be like you buy a pad of like post-it notes and you just sit down by yourself, or your mom or your dad or a close friend, and just write down all the post-it notes in the booklet, positive things about yourself, and have them write starting with your name so that you remember that it's about you. Like, if your name's Cynthia, like Cynthia, comma, you are so talented at blank, like whatever it is, and then write ones to yourself starting with your name. Deborah, you are so you have cute feet. Deborah, you have nice lips. Like, whatever it is, sit down, fill up all the post-its and put them around your house. Put them on the walls, put them by your mirror, put them above your bed, put on the ceiling above your bed. If you're writing with post-it note, you might need a little tape. Put it on the back of your toilet, because, you know, even when you're sitting on the throne, you should be thinking about positive things about yourself, because it takes work and it takes effort to change the tapes. You have to put in work, and if you don't put in work, you're never going to change, and you're always going to be stuck thinking bad things, and you don't want that. Another thing you can do is actively decide that you're going to look in the mirror, and I posted this on Facebook a while back, but I just want to mention it here. Like, once a day, decide, I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to look at my flaws that I normally see as negative, and I'm going to decide that they're beautiful. Because, you know, in reality, who is deciding that they're not beautiful? Who's deciding that, you know, the way your nose is shaped when you smile? Who's saying that that's ugly? Only you. Like, no one else thinks it, I promise you. And it's like, people probably like actually like the way like these things look about you, and you hate it, but it's crazy how our mind works. So look in the mirror, and, you know, instead of saying, oh god, like I hate the way my eyes crunch up and like when I smile, I think, oh, I love the way my eyes scrunch up when I smile. It's so cute and adorable, and I should love it. Why do I hate it? It's stupid. Like, just, this is something that's positive. These are positive things you can do in your life, and I'm sure there are a million other things you can do, and it's going to be different for different people because people have different routines and different things. But I just want to talk about, you know, the couple things I've been doing. I haven't put post-it notes up in my house. You know, it's gonna look really tacky if you do that, but, you know, tacky's fine. Who in the same thought process, who's telling you that like you're ugly? Like, who's saying like post-it notes around your house are ugly? Like, no, like that thought process comes from like nothing. So then let's talk about why it's so important that you take, and excuse me for my hairy armpits, I haven't shaved, it's summertime and it's hot, and every time I shave I get like razor burn. So why is it so important to talk about this? And this is where I'm going to end it, because it's getting to be a long video and I'm just rambling and doesn't really, not a very positive video. Like, it's not a very productive video, I feel like. I mean, positive, negative, it's all in my mind. It's so important to be proactive and take action in making yourself change these tapes, because they will eventually eat you up. If you are going through life and if you're going through life and you are just making yourself as small as possible, and you are not living to your fullest potential, you will wake up one day and you will have a reason to be upset with yourself, and it's going to be harder to change it 20 years from now, or 40 years from now, or 60 years from now. You know, if you eventually get to the point where you have like grandkids, or you have children of your own, and you look back and they're grown, and you're like, wow, I spent I spent so much time around my family and friends or whatever it is, and I didn't enjoy those times because there was just like a cloud of doom over it. You're going to regret it so much, so you have to change it ASAP. I don't know if this video, what I was trying to say in this video, and if it makes any sense to anybody, but I'll go ahead and post it for now. I'll probably try to make a couple more of these with a little bit more thought put into them, but just wanted to make one right now that was unedited, unthought out to begin with, just from the heart. But anyways, have a nice day, and be positive.